Spectators, we request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, and ethnic comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student-athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. And now, folks, we ask everyone to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The visiting team, Patrick Henry. Number 4, John Larder. Number 8, Zach Ward. Number 11, Rob Canfield. Number 24, Andrew Penrod. And number 30, Nate Semlick. The head coach is Brian Roynstad. And now for your Central Penn Knights. Number 3, Darius Wallace. Number 4, Anthony McClinton. Number 11, Rodney Ross. Number 20, Claudia Allen. And number 24, Riley Young. The head coach for your Central Penn Knights is Gary Norton.
Welcome everybody to the Nightly News broadcast here. Central Penn Knights take on Patrick Henry, and we are so happy to be back. It's been a little while. We've only had one game the second half. It's been basically one game for us here in the past month and a half or so. So we got to shake off a little bit of rust here in the first quarter. But of course, I'm here with Nightly News Hall of Famer Tyler Coleman. Tyler, great to have you back on the broadcast.
Oh, as always, Paul, happy to be back with you here tonight. Been a little while since I got to call a game, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll get to see our Knights pull out a win. And
a special shout out to Dalton Koller, one of our commentators and producers, with the PA skills. Very impressed with, he's a young Brian Christian in the making. All right, Patrick Henry wins the tip. Henry comes in. It's been a struggle this year for Patrick Henry, 2-6 on the season. We'll get into some of their wins and losses as we go. Knights also having a tough year as Claudia Allen hits down the opening layup. Knights 3-15, but Tyler, we're coming off a win, so let's string together 2 for a little win streak.
Little win streak, that's right. All it takes is 2 wins, so let's get it going tonight and hopefully swing the momentum in a better direction.
Good aggression there on the boards for the Knights, but Patrick Henry comes up with the rebound and the putback. That's Nate Semlick. I'm going to do my best. A running layup that doesn't go. It's 2-2 here in the first minute. Wide open down low, but Anthony McClinton, good defense, who's the Knights men's player of the week, Anthony McClinton. Wallace from downtown, yes.
There we go.
How do you get so wide open, Tyler?
It looks like the defenders just lost them, but you'll take those shots all night.
Absolutely.
Now it looks like the Knights bringing a little bit of a press here and got the turnover.
McClinton the steal, takes it all away. Just a little short, but great aggression, almost comes up with another steal. Always a pleasure to be here with you. We got a lot of games coming up here in the very near future. And we'll be on the air next time with you next Thursday as the Lady Knights take on Penn State Schuylkill. Nice acrobatic shot there from freshman Zach Ward for Patrick Henry. Got Ross, Allen, Wallace, McClinton, and Young on the floor for the Knights. Ross, nice crossover dribble, a step back jumper. Can't get it to go, but Q with the rebound. They're going to call it travel there.
Gotta like the effort there coming down with the second chance opportunity.
Definitely tough trying to go through traffic and not travel. 5-4. Knights an early lead thanks to the Wallace three. And they're going to keep it to Patrick Henry. That looked close. Rob Canfield off his leg. But touched the Knight on its way out of bounds. Looking for the screen there as Canfield takes the shot. Big rebound there by Penrod. And that'll send Penrod to the line. Of course, Tyler, you'll be back here with us on Senior Night, February 24th. I always tell everybody, go to centralpennknights.com for all of the details for our home games that we will be here with you. Or come on down yourself and join us.
Definitely looking forward to that, Paul. Senior nights are always a great time to get out and celebrate the seniors.
Right up ahead to McClinton on the outlet pass. He takes it all away, and McClinton is not only on fire tonight, he's been on fire for the last couple of weeks. Big victory on Wednesday night 1 week ago at Cheney as they took a 109-104 victory in their first loss since December. First win of the new year. So hey, you never know. You get on a run here in the second half, maybe win the conference tournament, maybe you get a bid to the USCAA national tournament.
Definitely a way to start that here tonight with a win.
Ball fake by Q, he puts it up, avoids the travel, and makes the bucket. 9-7, Knights, 4 minutes in. Good ball movement there by Patrick Henry. And out of bounds on Ross.
Yeah, Central Penn not scared to bring that early press. Don't typically see that so early on in the game, but doesn't hurt to see if Patrick Henry can get the ball moving.
As we look at the Knights, the leading scorer, of course, Q Quadier Allen, averaging 15.7. Rodney Ross averaging 13.7 in his own right, as Patrick Henry drains the three and takes a 10-9 lead. Got Young down low. Still the original starting lineups to this point. Ross looking for Allen. Fakes on the three ball, puts it on the floor. Can't get that one to go, but another aggressive shot. Steal by Wallace. Very close call. They could have went back, up and back. And Jenkins down low.
Nice turnaround move. But you're right, that definitely was close to an over and back, so the Knights got lucky.
There was no one on the midline there, on the half-court line, so I think that's probably why. But hey, we'll take any breaks we get. Ross, the rebound, ahead to McClinton. Now this is the Knights we're talking about right here. 13-10, Knights with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, so far, forcing the turnovers and getting out on the fast breaks, they'll take that all game long if they can keep it going.
You know, my question is, so the Knights are running the press here early. How do you determine? They're going to get a block on Riley Young, and he is not happy about that call. How do you determine, is it a game plan specific thing, or how do you determine when you're going to run that press defense?
Yeah, I think it's really opponent driven. If they don't think that Patrick Henry can move the ball as quick, or if they can get quick turnovers on him, you're definitely going to keep it going.
As Canfield puts in the layup, and the Knights cling to a one. I think it's fair to say that Q has had a heck of a year. He has shot 43% from the field, but looking at his free throw percentage is where Q has struggled, 47% on the season.
Yeah, I think that's always frustrating as a player, you know, when you get in the free, easy points and you're struggling at the line, you know, those are definitely something you want to take advantage of.
Ross heads to the line, wanted the bucket, unfortunately, didn't get it. As Young goes to the bench, and Shamar McCall from Baltimore, Maryland, he's probably happy about the news of the Orioles sale. Does look like Patrick Henry is moving the ball well against this crowd. And Paul there, and McClinton Wentz going down, but seems okay.
Definitely like the fast break that the Knights are getting out on. Getting the opportunity to score some easy points.
Strickland with the block. And what a tough rebound there for Canifield. You can't teach that kind of aggression, Tyler.
No, you can't. Yeah, those are one of the things you either have it as a player or you don't.
Strickland, the three ball, can't get that to go. Strickland definitely does have some outside touch, but I do like to see him under the basket. Really nice pass there from Larder. Inside to Penrod.
I will give Patrick Henry credit when they break the press. They're finding the open guys underneath the basket. I think they're getting too many easy points in the lane right now.
Wallace scores that bucket. As we look at Patrick Henry, they are 2-6 on the young season. About halfway through for them. Nice lob.
Another example right there.
Penrod is dominating the Lobos. So they are coming on a 2-game. They lost to Williamson. They lost to Frederick Community College. Last victory was at the whiteout against Appalachian Bible back on January the 20th. This game, they were supposed to play us back on January 19th, which for a home contest, which got postponed due to weather. Tie ball game here. 12:59 left in the first. 18 apiece. Knights really would like to have a 2-game back-to-back winning streak here.
Absolutely.
Nice running layup there by Canifield.
Another example, strong defense until the final 3 seconds, and then Patrick Henry got it into the paint pretty easily.
What a steal by Penrod. He takes it all the way, but can't get it to go. They're going to say Strickland stepped on the out of bounds. Again, another close call. Doesn't go our way. Well, now that there's a brief stoppage in play, the Knights today will go on the road tomorrow to Manor College, and then we'll follow up with a contest Saturday against Patrick Henry on the road. So they'll get to play them 2 out of 3 contests before an at Williamson trade. And then the next time the men will be back will be February 10th, next Saturday, against Bucks County Community College. That game should be huge, as the Central Penn Knights, let's just say, have a rivalry with Bucks County Community College. I think that's being polite. And McCall, the steal. Ahead to McClinton. Wide open lane. Ties the game back up to 20.
Playing Patrick Henry again this weekend, you definitely want to set the tone and get a win here tonight.
So that was a question I wanted to ask you. What's it like playing a team so close? I mean, within a few days of one another.
It can be a little difficult. I mean, like I said, you want to set that tone early on in game 1. You know, and let Patrick Henry know you're here to play and you're ready to get that W however you need to.
So definitely an interesting span here within basically between now and Tuesday. They're going to play 4 games in the next 6 days, including 3 straight on the road. Of course, we'll be here with you every home game, and you can always go to centralpennknights.com for all the live stats and schedule information.
Well, it seems like no better time than now to try to get some wins going.
And like I said, you know, we're still live for the ESAC championship. That would be great. Even on, and that's something that's great with the ESAC. I got to be honest with you, Tyler. Even on a tough season, you're still playing to get into that conference championship game. With 4 teams, you're still live right now. You go on a little run, you're going to make that game and potentially be ESAC champions for the school.
Exactly, and all you want to do is just get in, right? And you never know what can happen.
Everyone counted the Chiefs out.
At every sport, right? Just get in, and you never know.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't have pegged the Texas Rangers winning the World Series last year in baseball.
I think with the expanded playoffs, that's a little bit of a different conversation.
Well, we can have that conversation during baseball season. Right now, we're watching some basketball. It's 22-20. Big steal from Strickland turns it right back over to Patrick Henry as Jake Ward with the steal. And they're going to say tip ball. Central Penn retains possession. Knights have lost a lot of close ones, including the epic showdown, the January 13th contest we called, dropping the Christian to 75-74, and frankly, one of the best basketball games I've ever seen in my lifetime. Ross looking to drive. Strickland at the three-point line drives himself. He looks inside to McClinton, who's partially blocked, but gets his own rebound, can't get it to go.
I don't like the effort pulling down the third opportunity.
McCall wide open, passes on the shot, takes a check. They are going to get the foul call there. I guess I would have pulled the trigger there from 3, but
yeah, so I was thinking the same thing. Why he took a couple dribbles in, but
22-20. We're coming down to 10 minutes 30 seconds here in the first. Nice off the window there for Strickland.
Like the effort. 3 opportunities, got him some points.
Good play, heads up there by Patrick Henry. It's 4-on-4 crime there.
Almost had another turnover there.
Threw it off McClinton out of bounds. Knights lead by 4. And they're trying to press again. And Penrod needs to get out of trouble. He's not the guy you want with the ball. Tries a bounce pass. And the steal by Campbell. And Campbell misses the layup. But good rebound by McClinton. The up and under can't get that to go. They've had some really close-up shots that they just have not gotten to fall. Looks like Patrick Henry's about to call a timeout. Our first stoppage in play tonight.
The CPC film series returns for the winter term as Professor Paul Miller presents the classic comedy Groundhog Day on Friday, February 2nd, the day of celebration for the holiday. It will be held at the Capitol Blue Cross Theater with the doors opening at 6 p.m. In his presentation, he will discuss the philosophy of the film, showing the depth of Bill Murray's character and discussing how long he was actually in the time loop. In addition to the event being on Groundhog Day itself, it also is Professor Miller's birthday, so come help him celebrate. So happy early birthday to you, Paul.
Thank you. Always been a movie day every year, and I said, of course, not just February 2nd, so my birthday is always on a different day. Which is interesting because, like, Easter and Thanksgiving are on certain days of certain months, whereas Groundhog Day is always on February 2nd. That being said, I really would love if y'all would come out and support me. My family's going to be there. It's going to be a great time, and we get to watch a classic film. And but it's also a film, Tyler, that does make you think a little bit. And I'm going to try to bring that out so we leave a little intellectually stimulated.
Leave people wanting more.
And Patrick Henry takes it all the way to the rack. Canfield can't get it to go, and it looked like they called an offensive foul there. We are halfway home in the first half, 24-20. Maybe a little bit closer than the bookmakers might have suggested here in the first halftime.
Yeah, definitely a close game right now, but still plenty of time for the Knights to break it open.
And Strickland in and out. So many close shots so far. hope we get some of those to roll.
Hopefully, I mean, you gotta like the shots they're taking, right? They're getting open looks.
Oh, there's
It's
no
not falling.
question. There's no question about the quality of shots. It's just unlucky. Off Ross's foot to McCall. He's got Campbell for 3. And that goes.
There you go, another wide open 3 they found in the corner.
Thus far on the season, Caden Campbell averaging 5.1 per game, but 4 rebounds as well in 11 minutes. He's averaging 4 rebounds in 11 minutes. And there's a steal. And gets that one to go. 2 straight baskets for Caden Campbell. And that's what bringing somebody off the bench can do for you, Tyler.
Yep, absolutely. Every team needs that 6th man of a sort to spark the bench.
Beautiful window shot there from Larder over Strickland. 29-22 after those 2 Campbell buckets. Knights lead by 7. And Ross the 3 ball. And now that one rolls.
Got the bounce on that one.
Well, we were just complaining how we weren't getting the bounce. You know, it's the game of karma, right? Knights struggled to get back. Caden Campbell was at a 3-on-1 but couldn't convert. What a shot by McClinton.
We were just talking about how it's a close game too, and just like that, it's an 11-point lead now.
Well, no lead in basketball is safe. Way ahead. Noah Jackson, number 5. Also have number 30, Semlick. 11, Canfield. 4, Larder. And number 8, Zach Ward. And for the Knights, we have Lewis, who just checked in, Allen, Ross, Strickland, and Campbell for the Knights. Nice to see 2 sports stars, Zaheem Lewis, who's played baseball and basketball during his time at Central Penn. Just got that shot off, and Hughes misses Ross on the fast break attack. 33-22, 7:43 left. Jackson checks out. Penrod back in. Interestingly enough, only 2, that would be the captain Chris Zemnick and the captain Penrod are Canfield are juniors. The rest of the team is freshman and sophomore. What role does that play on a team like Patrick Henry with only a couple of veteran players?
It can be tough because you don't have the experience, right? So, but on the other hand, it's also a lot of young players that you can grow through your system and program, and hopefully within the next 2 or 3 years, you watch them develop and turn into much better players.
And Strickland down inside. This is where I like seeing him. In and out. Not sure what he was doing there, but now he's behind the play. And Penrod, the jumper, can't get that to go. And unfortunately, or depending on how you look at it, fortunately, Ward whiffs on that rebound and it's Knights' ball. Down inside to Allen. Tries to go off the window, can't get it to go. Keeps it alive. But Patrick Henry comes up with it, number 13, Jake Ward. And fakes the shot, does Larder. Down inside, Penrod has been really dominant down low.
They've been going to him a lot. I mean, he's scoring pretty easily down there on the block. So the Knights got to figure out how to tighten up that defense down there.
And inside to Campbell with the layup. Knights lead 35-24. Let's take a look at the Central Penn Knights.com scoreboard, where you can always go for live stats during the game. If you'd like to keep up with those live stats, we usually go to them a couple of times a game. As Ward goes to the line. Makes the first. For Patrick Henry, Canfield has 8, Penrod with 7 and 3 rebounds, Larder with 5. And for your Central Penn Knights, Anthony McClinton with 8. Caden Campbell in just a few minutes, 7 points, as Darius Wallace with 5, Ross with 5, Allen with 4 and 6 rebounds. Again, check out centralpennknights.com for all of the live stats just by clicking on schedules and men's basketball. Strickland keeping it going, but he is just really struggling to get it to fall tonight. Playing great, just in and out several times.
Hopefully continue to keep taking those shots, and as the game goes on, they'll fall for him.
I think he was going for a lob there, was Ward, but came up empty. Lewis for 3. Looked like might have got a piece of it, did Canfield. And the putback there for the Knights. 37-26, 5:30 left, as the Knights hold on to an 11-point lead here in the first half. Going to get a travel. They didn't call the foul, they called the travel. He was like running into a brick wall.
That's exactly what it looked like. Now, I will say that the live scoring that you were given is such an awesome amenity to have.
Oh,
when we first started this, we didn't have that, right? So,
no,
so cool.
It's only been, they're going to get Lewis for the travel, even though he knocked down the shot. Yeah, definitely the live stats have been a godsend, man. I mean, you know, obviously in baseball, I can keep score and I can generally know what the stats are. But in basketball, when I'm here, I almost had the ball come up here. I was just watching out for the camera. Pardon me. When we're up here, it's obviously you can't keep score of basketball, and you know, we do the best we can here. I think we do a pretty darn good job, sir.
I think the broadcasting has come a long way since we first started this. So.
And you can remember back that far.
Oh yeah. Hard to believe I've been doing it so long now.
I mean, I want to say we started basketball in 2018. And big steal there by Young. Ahead to Lewis. Lewis to Allen to Strickland with the slam. And that's one way to make sure it goes down.
Yeah, it is.
What a play, and the momentum all night right here, up 13. Patrick Henry's got to do something to slow down the Knights. Tell me about the ball movement on that dunk, Tyler.
I mean, that was beautiful, right? Like, I mean, that dunk was set up perfectly. So you can keep the ball moving like that all game. You should be set up for victory.
Unbelievable. Certainly the highlight of the game from Strickland, from Allen. The Knights lead by 13. I'll tell you, Patrick Henry's giving it their all, though. You can't count them out at all. And Q from downtown, that goes.
Now the Knights are starting to pull away with this a little bit.
Just a lot of talent here on the Knights. And Q with the steal, but turns it right back over to Penrod. Canfield looking for some help. Actually, number 2 in, that's Penrod with a jumper. Penrod, and he's definitely
carrying the load.
He really is. He's a guy that the Knights have to watch out for in the low post. Inside to Young, great ball fake and pass, dish off inside to Young for an easy bucket as the Knights extend the lead 44-28 with 3.5 left in the first. Block by Strickland. What a play!
There you go, get the fast break going.
He takes it all away. Can't quite get it to go, but it will go to the line. What a sequence there by Strickland.
That was awesome. Get the block, get the fast break going on the other end. Unfortunately, don't get the basket, but you'll take 2 free throws.
Huge sequence there from Strickland on both ends of the floor. Cannot sink that free throw. McClinton for Lewis. Ashley 6. Semlik back in the contest. And Strickland makes that second. Now we're going to see Conti for Strickland. as we go to the final 3 minutes of the first half. And Patrick Henry trying to move the ball down the floor. And they got wide open Canfield. And that's a shot you don't want to give Canfield, but he comes up empty either way. McClinton pulls up for 3. Can't get that to go. Canfield the rebound. Gets out of the mess, and they got a break going behind the back. And another turnover. Up ahead to McClinton. And he throws it out of bounds. Good defense there by Larder, even though it will remain Knights ball.
I like the pass, but I think that was a shot he maybe could have took up himself.
You know, if you had to give the Knights one critique, it's that when they do get the momentum, they do get a little careless and rush, as they did right there, instead of slowing it down a little bit. Allen comes up empty on the 3. Of course, again, you know, when we're going for a winning streak, I don't want to be overly critical here. We're playing a great game. From way outside, Larder comes up empty, but great rebound there by Ward. And he will go to the line. .210 remains. Knights 45, Patrick Henry 28. And he makes the first. Here we now see Donnell Lau, the freshman, communication student, wonderful guy. He's averaging just under 10 minutes per game, 4 points per game. Wonderful addition to the college. 45-30, 2:05 left here in the first half. Cue to Ross. Ross is yet to get going here.
And right on cue.
Knocks down a stiff jumper from the key.
It would be nice to see him get going in the scoring column a little more.
And Ross the steal inside the Conti, can't get it to go. The no look. And rejected by Lau. They're going to get a foul call on McClinton. Huge rejection there, allowed in the game for a minute. Big block. As Wallace comes in for Ross with 1:32 left. And inside to Penrod. And another great shot. Well, if they can keep it close to within 10 or so, they're still within striking distance.
Yeah, he's definitely somebody you're going to have to tighten up the defense on.
Wide open for 3. Can't get that one to go. Watch out from behind. Ward, number 8, Canfield. From downtown, Canfield. And he gets it to go. Now the lead is down to 12, under a minute.
All right, under a minute. You want to see the Knights close out this half strong, as good as they've been playing. So you got to keep the foot on the gas pedal here.
Wallace hit those couple shots early and has really been quiet since. Oh, what a shot by Wallace. Huge shot there in terms of momentum.
Stop here would be huge.
Trying to go inside, turns the ball over to Semlin. Ahead to Q. Yeah. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Larder has got a shot. There's about 8 seconds left. Wide open, Semlin. Can't get it to go. Q tries to save it. And McClinton can't get the shot off. But I will say, before we go to our halftime show, Patrick Henry got back to within 12, but then a 3 from Wallace and that big 2 from Q. I mean, gosh, that was pretty amazing. The Knights, how they closed that out after, giving up that big lead they had.
Yeah, no, the Knights have, I think, pretty handedly played it very well. very well and clean first half. Be interesting to see if they leave the press on now with a bigger lead. If they do, you just got to keep figuring out how to get back and stop Patrick Henry from scoring down low so easily. But I like the looks they're getting on the fast break, and hopefully it'll be just as good in the second half as it was in the first.
All right, well, we're going to go to our halftime. Knights lead 52-35. We'll be back with you here in about 12 minutes for a sort of introduction to the second half and for second half action. For Paul Miller, Tyler Coleman, we'll see you on the other side of halftime. Paul Miller, Tyler Coleman back here with you. About a minute till we start off the second half as the Central Penn Knights lead 52-35. As I mentioned, I'm here with Nightly News Hall of Famer Tyler Coleman. Tyler, break down that first half for us. It was pretty close up front, then the Knights really ran off with it.
It was. I mean, the Knights did a great job getting out on the fast break, moving the ball very well, finding open shots. Like I said, before we went into halftime, going to be interesting to see if they keep the press on with such a big lead, because if they do, they need to figure out how to get back and try to close off the block there and shut Patrick Henry down. But hopefully they can keep the momentum going here.
And honestly, it could have been worse. The Knights missed a lot of really close shots that went in and out, not because they were poor shots, but because they just couldn't fall. But I got to tell you, a couple of huge plays and a couple of huge runs by Darius Wallace and Kevon Campbell, who came in and provided a spark to the Knights as we get ready for the second half. The Knights hold on to a 17-point lead. Before we get started here, let's take a look at our Central Penn Knights scoreboard. For Patrick Henry, Canfield, and Penrod, both with 11 points. And for the Knights, Koller Allen leads the way with 9, Darius Wallace with 8, as well as Anthony McClinton with 8, as Campbell and Ross have 7. Knights missed their first shot.
I think the dunk in that first half was sort of what inspired that run a little bit.
Absolutely. They did finish with a 7-0 run at the end of the first half. They're going to get Young there for the foul on Semlik. Semlik, one of the captains on the team. The sophomore. Again, only 2 even juniors on the team. That would be Chris Zemenek, number 3, who I don't believe we've seen tonight. And Penrod is the other captain, but only a sophomore. Rob Canfield, the other junior.
With all that youth, it'll be interesting to see where Patrick Henry's program is within the next 2 or 3 years. Don't generally see too many teams that young.
And nice rebound there. Ross comes up with it. And we got inside to Allen. Again, another one can't get it to go. Allen looking for the foul. McClinton, the loose ball, picks it up and pulls it back as they get a fresh shot clock. Maybe it wasn't quite a fresh shot clock. Trying to get that fixed here. 52-36. Into Ross. Wallace. Young has his pocket picked there by Lauder, going the other way. And Ward gets it to fall. And the Knights have a 14-point lead, 52-38.
They definitely don't want to start turning the ball over. It could lead to the Patrick Henry easy points. And if that happens, you could see this lead get cut pretty quick.
Well, and that's what happened in the first half. The Knights ran away. I think they had a 17-point lead. Then back-to-back shots by Patrick Henry got it to 12. Fortunately, he ended with that 7-0 run at the end of the first half.
Yep, yeah, no, exactly. There's still plenty of time to go in this game, so you don't want to let Patrick Henry get back into it.
Very aggressive defense for the Knights, and the shot there by Larder.
Seems like he's doing a little bit of everything in this game.
And the Knights only up by 11. .24 left. McClinton to the line. And sinks it. Young takes the seat. Strickland in the game. And Clinton can't get it to go. A great rebound there by Ross. Turns into a 3-point play.
Heck, gotta like the effort.
I mean, that's something that Patrick Henry cannot let happen. You have to box out.
Right, no, you do. But, I mean, the Knights, I think, definitely have the size advantage here.
No question.
You've got to keep up on those second chance opportunities.
Penrod inside. Can't get it to go. And Strickland the rebound, and the baseball pass up ahead to Wallace, intercepted by Larder. He was channeling his inner Mahomes, unfortunately, didn't quite turn out that way.
Wrong sport. I've never been a fan of those long court passes.
And we got Ross, we have Wallace, Strickland, Q, and McClinton. And it looks like they are going to get a foul on Penrod. (55-41, 17-43) left in the second half. And Q takes it right to the rack, inside to Strickland and outside to Ross. What a shot!
I'd like to see some of those open shots continue to fall. As we talked about earlier in the game, they weren't getting on the fall as easily, so hopefully they can keep that up.
It is surprising that they're continuing with the press with the 17-point lead here, Tyler.
I'm surprised by that as well, because if Patrick Henry breaks the press, like, you got to get back. And I think that's what's kind of leading to some of their easy wins.
Jackson comes up short. Four guys on the outside, no one covered. Ross trying to shoot the three again. They're going to get McClinton over the back on Jackson. 3 minutes in here in the second half as Canfield comes in for Jackson. And Canfield wasn't paying attention. 5-on-2. And it turns it right back to Canfield. And turned it back around again to the Knights. Inside to Ross. What a sequence.
A lot of back and forth there, but that's one thing I think the Knights have struggled on is they get a Patrick Henry turnover, and I've seen opportunities where they just give the ball right back, so they got to clean that up.
Knights lead 60-41 as Patrick Henry calls a timeout.
Attention all football fans, get ready for the ultimate Super Bowl experience with BSU. Join us this Sunday, February 11th at 5 p.m. in ATEC 200 for the big game. We're talking big screens, an electric atmosphere, and a feast of game day foods to keep your spirits high and cheering loud. Mark your calendars, bring your friends, and let's make it a game day to remember.
Well, since we do have some downtime, obviously I already know what I'm going to say. What you're going to say if I ask you who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. Of course, Tyler, a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. I believe I'm going with you too, though. I didn't understand the Niners being favored in this game. Both of the last two games, the Chiefs were underdogs, won fairly convincingly in both.
Sorry, I'm fine with the Chiefs being underdogs, you know?
Well, I think
Nobody thought they'd win 2 games on the road, they did. Nobody thought they'd win as underdogs, they did. So I'm fine with the media and everybody thinking that the Niners are going to win.
And as a Chiefs fan, what is your opinion on the romance between Kelsey and T. Swift?
I'm all for it. You know, I think that people get annoyed with the high media coverage of it, but I'm all for it. I mean, if they're happy, good for them.
As a newly married man, that's a good answer. All right, Patrick Henry, they do retain the ball there, even though that went out of bounds. For the Knights, we have Wallace, McClinton, Strickland, Ross, and Allen. For Patrick Henry, Penrod, number 30, Semlich. Trying to get some water off there. We have 11, Canfield, who makes the shot right there off the inbound.
A little too easy.
Number 4, Larder, number 8, Ward. 60-43, 16:29 left. Wallace pulling it back halfway through the shot clock. And Wallace wide open from 3. Can't get it to go. Penrod, the big rebound. And they try to go inside to Penrod. That's a risky pass. I don't know if I make down 17 time.
No, I agree. I wouldn't make that either, but must have thought they were going to get an easy cut to the basket there, so luckily that worked into the Knights' favor.
Ross slowly brings it up the floor, trying to run some clock. Not a bad idea. McClinton thinks about the three. Dishes to Ross, who drives the lane. What a scoop by Ross. And that press returns, and McClinton the steal in the bucket.
It makes me wonder now up 20 if they are ever going to pull the press off or not.
I mean, I guess if they beat it a couple of times in a row. Penrod inside, he's going to get the bucket and the foul.
With the press, it seems that's sort of like what's happening. They either force a Patrick Henry turnover or they're getting easy points under the basket.
(64-45), 15-19 remaining. Penrod can't make the three-point play happen. And Ross. Ward inbounds. Canfield runs it up to a 2-on-1 situation. Penrod inside. There's another example of what you were just talking about.
You would think at some point, being up 17 now, they would maybe just take it off, let your defense get back and set, but we'll see.
McClinton from downtown, no good. Penrod tries to come up with the rebound. Can't quite secure it, but Semlick does, but nearly turns it over. Manages somehow to retain possession. And it'll be Knights ball. Now, here's a question I was just thinking here, Tyler. Do you think that the fact that they're playing them again this weekend might have anything to do with the press being applied for the full game?
I think it could. You're trying to get into the Patrick Henry's players' minds a little bit, forcing them to basically say, hey, we got to break this press or you're not going to score. So, but I would think as the game goes on, you might take it off, give your defense a break, but we'll see.
McClinton inside with the layup. And again, another, I mean, great defense there by Q, but they had a 3-on-1. So, I would hope that if they're going to continue to play this press on Saturday, that they keep one more defender back, maybe? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a good point. Because it does seem like right now when their defense is more set and Patrick Henry's struggling to get open shots.
And Larder with the air ball. They're going to get Strickland for the travel when he came down from that rebound. But the Knights hold on to a 19-point lead, looking for their second consecutive victory and their first consecutive victories on the season.
2 games is a winning streak.
And like I said, you get on a run here in the second half, still a lot of games to play. In fact, after tonight, Tyler, 8 more games, 5 of them on the road, 3 at home. 2 of which are against ESAC rivals, Bucks County and Manor.
So the Knights should be motivated to play in those games.
Semlick from downtown, he's been really off tonight. I don't even know connected with the rim. But Penrod with the big rebound and putback. Hugh inside, acrobatic shot, can't get it to go. Semlick the rebound. And another long pass again. Heads up play by Penrod. But again, you're down 17 points. I don't understand a very low percentage pass like that, Tyler.
Yeah, I think right now you just see the Patrick Henry players just trying to force things right now to try to get some easy points. And luckily the Knights are figuring out how to shut it down.
McCall checks in, as does Campbell. Lauder thinks about the shot. Semlick really struggled tonight offensively and can't get the point blank shot to go. Ahead to Wallace. What a shot! What a scoop and score by Darius Wallace. From Dallas, not Dallas, Texas, Dallas, Pennsylvania. Do you have any idea where Dallas, Pennsylvania is?
No,
I know where Denver, Pennsylvania is. It's out toward Reading. I'm not aware of where Dallas, Pennsylvania is. Went to Dallas High School, did Mr. Wallace. I'll have to ask him.
Might have to call up Brian on that one.
He is the master of Pennsylvania geography. Strickland comes up empty. Caden Campbell all the way from the Bronx, New York. A lot of people from all over the place. McCall from Maryland, Strickland from Maryland, and Wallace the break and the layup. And the Knights comfortably up by 19 with 12:16 left. Kicked ball there from Campbell. Like Semlick's gonna take a seat as number 5 Noah Jackson enters back in. Inside, Canfield can't get it to go. Penrod tries to keep it alive, but McClinton comes up with it. McClinton from downtown. Can't get it to go. Jackson a rebound. And McCall sneaks up behind him.
I'd be interested to see how many turnovers Patrick Henry has in his team, because the Knights have forced a lot.
Well, Tyler, that's the sort of thing we can find out over at CentralPennKnights.com. Of course, you can always go to CentralPennKnights.com for live stats of all of our games here in real time and box scores after the fact. Inside Strickland. Well, Tyler, to answer that question, Patrick Henry has 22 turnovers to the Knights 14, so maybe not quite the gap that you thought. The Knights are shooting 52% on the evening compared to 44% for Patrick Henry.
So
free throws about even.
For their open shots not going down, 52%, still pretty good.
100%. Wallace is on fire. Actually, when you look at the points, outside of a dominating lead on points in the paint, 48-26, it's a relatively close game.
So 48 points in the paint for Patrick Henry?
48 points in the paint for the Knights to 26 for Patrick Henry. As we look at some of the individual stats, of course, Penrod leading the way with 19 and 5, while Canfield with 13, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Nate Semlick, 9 boards. For the Knights, Ross leads the way with 16 points. Darius Wallace on 6 of 7, 14 points. Anthony McClinton, 13 points, 5 rebounds, while Claudia Allen has 9 and 7. Certainly a team effort here from the Knights. We now see Lewis. McCall has the ball. Strickland, Wallace, and Campbell. And McCall, the big shot there to put the Knights up by a cool quarter century.
Yeah. Seems like not that long ago we were just talking about how close this game was, and the Knights have really broken it open.
The second half, I got to be honest with you, it's been all Knights.
Yeah.
I mean, there just has not been a lot of offense. And again, the press has mattered, but they haven't. Patrick Henry has turned the ball over in the press quite a bit. We got a 3-on-2 here. Shot clock issue. Looks like Loud's about to check in. And Patrick Henry goes inside the Canfield. From downtown, that's Ward. And so we got Ward and Ward here. Number 8, number 8, Zach. Number 13, Jake. Jake Ward's first time here. They are both freshman guards. And Zahid Lewis. So here's the interesting thing. I want to say it was the last game before the break. Both teams had twins. Both the women's team and the men's team both had twins, which I thought was that's strange. And for a broadcaster, it's difficult because, you know, they have the same last name.
It's not every day you're seeing that.
Here's that we're seeing it here today as well with Zach and Jake. Or maybe it's just they're both freshman guards. They somewhat look alike, so I suppose it's at least possible They're not identical twins, it doesn't seem. Big 3 ball there from Larder, another freshman. I just think, honestly, today, the size, as you said, but to me, it just shows when you have somebody like Hugh and McClinton and Ross, the senior leadership, or veteran leadership, if you will, it's just shining through here against Patrick Henry.
Oh, right, and that's something Patrick Henry doesn't have, as we touched on here earlier in the game, and, that definitely is playing in Central Penn's advantage.
Hanfield from downtown can't get it to go. Lewis comes up with a rebound up to Wallace. It's a 3-on-1. And Lau! Nice bucket there from Donnell Lau. 81-54, and the Knights are still running the press. Canfield up ahead, easy bucket. At this point, why not continue the press?
I think you made a good point earlier. Maybe it does have something to do with them playing again on Saturday.
To be honest, I can't imagine why else, to your point, that you would continue to keep the press on, up 25.
Well, you also, Central Penn's been doing it the whole game. You don't normally see it, right from the tip-off and then with such a big lead. So it's a good point to make.
Hey, I got one every once in a while. Paul Miller and Nightly News Hall of Famer Tyler Coleman here as the Knights a 25-point lead and well on their way to a back-to-back winning streak for the Knights, and Lau with a turnaround jumper.
At this point, you're just looking for the Knights to continue to play a clean game and close it out strong.
And they're going to get Larder with the travel. And they will call a timeout as the Knights lead 83-56 with 8:10 left.
The Knights baseball schedule has been released. Save the date for doubleheaders at FNB Field to kick off the season. On March 19th, the Knights will host Penn State Hazleton. Then on March 26th, the Knights host arch-rival Bucks County Community College, both with 1 p.m. starts. You can keep up with the Knights baseball all season at www.centralpennknights.com.
Something that I definitely wanted to talk about was I actually had Lindsay Garber and Sarah Walters on the podcast this week talking about it. It's hard to study when you're hungry. The Central Penn College Pantry can help. Central Penn College and your Student Government Association are committed to ensuring that all of our CPC Knights have access to food when they need it. Requests are kept anonymous and can be submitted online. Look for the link under the links section of Student Central or contact Lindsay Garber, the Director of Housing and Residence Life at Lindsay Garber at centralpenn.edu. Again, you can go to cpcnightlynews.com and check out episode number, Tyler, 184 of the podcast. We're looking forward to that episode 200 coming up here in the fall.
Did you ever think when you started the podcast you'd have that many episodes?
I mean, no. Who knows? Wallace, the big 3. You put me on the spot there. We really worked hard to get where we are, and it's something that sort of, I think, is really important for the school and also the people on the show, the students. Big block by Loud. I'll tell you what, I'm really looking forward to number 200. Loud inside, can't get it to go, but tries to keep it live. Unfortunately, goes the other way as the Knights now lead by 30. Yeah, we do 5 episodes a term, which is every even-numbered Tuesday. The podcasts have come out and have been so for quite some time.
So it won't be much longer till you're hitting that 200.
Fall. Yep. And we're actually having our big open house to our new studio. We got a new podcast studio. We're in Milano 10A, right across the hall, but we've doubled our size. Next time you're down at the school, I'll take you down.
Yeah, that was always one of my favorite things to do as a student was do podcasts. So I'm happy to see you guys have come a long way.
Absolutely. CPCNightlyNews.com, you can find all of those, or if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, all you got to do is check us out on our YouTube channel. All the podcasts are there. We want you to check them out. Also had our esports team on this week. We had our coaches from our esports team to recap the fall season. Former national champions for Central Penn Knights esports team in their first year.
It's a high bar to set in your first year.
Indeed it is. We actually talk about that on the show. Always love to hear fans of the Nightly News podcast. Tyler, you were just on one recently. What did you think about that?
I stated earlier, I enjoyed it. You know, that was one of my favorite things to do. And
I'm saying after the Hall of Fame, you got a chance to.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. And you know, anytime there's an opportunity to be on a podcast, I'd always be down.
Well, one of these days we'll resurrect the fantasy football strategy guy.
It'd be nice if we could get that going again before next year.
It'd be great, but it's, you know, not in the studio, and the production quality is less than ideal. .43 left, 86-63, a 23-point lead for the Knights. Inside to Loud. Loud has really played well in his limited minutes here in the second half. But a lot of bench players. Campbell came in, made some incredible plays. Wallace has been hot. McCall has made some good plays. Lewis just hit a 3.
Well, I think if the Knights are going to make a run here the rest of the season, it's definitely going to be continuing on their bench, right? Like you look at successful basketball teams and they're deep. They, you know, go 8-9 players deep, and the Knights can make a run. That's going to be a help.
Number 10, Isaac Callowang checks in. Looking forward to seeing him. We haven't seen a lot of him in our games this season. Loud checks out. Young and Conti check in. Callowang, Lewis, and McCall. The turnaround jumper from Penrod can't get that to go. Big rebound there from McCall. Looks like he might have come down on the foot of Semlick, but McCall seems okay. Downtown, Zaheem Lewis can't get that one to go. And Semlick to the rebound. Callowang trying to come up with a steal. He's going to get the foul call. It's going to go the other way. It's actually going to go on Patrick Henry on Semlick. I did notice that Callowang comes all the way from Sterling, Virginia, which again, a little bit of a hike.
Far way to come for school up here in Pennsylvania.
Appalachia. Callowang looking to get on the score sheet. .451 remains. Knights are looking to hang a century mark on Patrick Henry, and I mean that definitely makes a statement, right? Patrick Henry coming from Virginia, at least a couple of hour ride. I didn't waze it, but at least a couple of hour ride, and that's just got to leave a sour taste in your mouth, especially because you got to turn around and play these guys again this weekend.
Yeah, no, if you're Central Penn, you're definitely trying to make a statement with this game. So sitting here at 90 points with 4.5 minutes to go, you know they're looking at that scoreboard trying to break 100.
By my calculations here, Patrick Henry College is 89 miles away. Just down 81, honestly, from an hour and 54 minutes. So they should be home before their midnight curfew. Conti, the floater, gets it to go. Gotta be honest, it's great to see a victory for the Knights, who coming into today's game hadn't won at home since December 12th when they beat Williamson Trade 84-57. This would only be their second, or excuse me, earlier in the season they won Manor, so this is actually their third home victory. I hate saying that because there's still 4 minutes left. I don't want to jinx anyone. 23 points.
Up by 23, yeah.
Hey, that's only 8 possessions.
So quick on your feet math there.
And Conti looking for someone, but no one's home. Nice to see McClinton rooting on his teammates after a big game. We'll have to ask Anthony what it feels like to be the player of the week for the Knights. Apparently, if you look back at the box score, when they played Cheney on a week ago Wednesday, that big 109-104 victory, he had quite the game.
109-104, that's a pretty high-scoring game.
I'd say.
I don't know if we've seen, well, at least myself, I don't know if I've seen so many 100-point games.
Well, to be honest, the Knights haven't scored 100 points all season now that it looks like. So certainly their highest output, but they certainly can challenge 109 right here. From way downtown, does get that one to fall, does Canfield. And now we're within 22. Conti bluffs the shot. Gallo-Lang from downtown. Can't get it to go.
Just got to finish these last 3 minutes out strong here.
Wide open from the corner. Ward, but can't get it to go. And Strickland a big rebound. Just now under 3 minutes. Knights lead 94-72. McCall, a jumper contested. Conti tries to come up with it. Penrod, again, another surprising no front and back call there. Kevon inside! Yes. Everybody loves the root for Kevon. Big bucket for Mr. Isaac. Way downtown. Semlik the rebound. Callaway the steal! But they're going to get him for the foul. Tyler, good call or let him play?
At this point, big lead, 2 minutes left in the game. I think you just let him play.
But we're going to get Ashley, number 2. Reek Ward, 13. Canfield, 11. Jackson, 5. Penrod, 24. Gallo-Lang misses the free throw. Foul actually went the other way, which is kind of surprising. Gallo-Lang giving him a spark off the bench. Ward, the steal. Trying to get it to Strickland. Strickland tries to go baseline, loses control of the ball, but comes back up with it. Almost throws it away, but McCall manages to keep it. And they're going to bring that out of bounds after an issue with the clock. Gallo-Lang, McCall. McCall puts it on the floor, gets it inside to Strickland. Up and under.
Nice basket here, the way to sort of seal this game.
Looking for that century mark, 98-72. And they're going to get the call for the reach in. Well, Tyler, as we come down to the final minute, I just want to say, as always, it's a pleasure that you're still able to come and do some commentary with the Knights.
I always appreciate the invitation. Enjoy being here with you, and I'm looking forward to being back next month when we got a doubleheader.
I can't wait for senior night. That you will be back here with us, and maybe other special guests for all we know. Strickland from downtown. Can't get it to go. McCall tries to come up with a rebound. Penrod, nonetheless, comes up with it. Well, as we take our final look at CentralPennKnights.com, live stats, Rob Canfield led the way with 21.6 rebounds inside the Conti. That brings it to 100. Penrod, 19. As we look at the Knights, the leader of the way is Darius Wallace, including 7 of 9 from the floor and 3 of 5 from 3. Of course, Rodney Ross, 16 and 6. McClinton, 13 and 5. Jordan Strickland, 9 and 10. And Quadier Allen, 9 and 7. But the nightly news player of the game, Tyler, I'm going to have to go with Darius Wallace. In limited minutes, 7 of 9 from the floor, including 3 huge momentum-shifting three-pointers. 17 points and 3 assists on the night.
I definitely agree with you on that pick. 7-9 shooting, that's a fantastic game. He really helped lead the Knights to this victory.
Galloway from downtown can't get it to go. Congratulations to Darius Wallace, his second player of the game on this season.
What a block. I like the players still playing tough here in the final seconds of the game.
Galloway ahead to Strickland. Tries to take on the whole team, and Conti inside. And he hits that bucket, 102.75. As the time will expire momentarily. 3-ball, no good. And that will do it, Tyler. The Knights make a very strong showing. Now, in my mind, as we look back to the beginning of the game, remember, as late as about halfway through the first half, it was 20 apiece. What was the key for the Knights to really run away with this game, not only in the second part of the first half, but in the second?
Well, I think the Knights did a fantastic job on getting out on the fast break. They got tons of open shots. You know, earlier in the game they weren't falling, but later here in the second half, I think they did a much better job. They kept the press on all game, so they were forcing turnovers. And the biggest thing I want to say is they got their second win in a row here, so it starts a win streak. Keep the momentum going, and hopefully they can get another win this weekend against Patrick Henry.
And let's hope they come back on that win streak when we come back here on February 10th. I just wanted to add one comment. I think tonight, for me, calling these games this year, this was the most clear team effort. We saw people from the top to the bottom of the roster making contributions. A player of the game who's coming off the bench, and even a guy like Callalang and Campbell and Loud made some really, really awesome plays. And this is what we like to see. They're playing well as a team. And let's be honest, 3 winnable games at Manor, at Patrick Henry, at Williamson Trade. And then we're back here February 10th for the marquee matchup against Bucks County Community College.
Hey, 27-point victory, it's hard to find much to complain about, right? So good win all around.
Indeed. Well, hey, thank you so much to the producers of today's program, Dalton, Koller, and Kevon Davis, our photographer, Dylan Bowman, and, of course, Nightly News Hall of Famer, Tyler Coleman. For all of those fine gentlemen and myself, Paul Miller, we will see you back here next Thursday nights for Lady Knights basketball. Until then, we will see you, and thank you for checking in with the Nightly News.